The Ukulele Review Podcast.
All right, welcome back. And today we have Aaron with us and Corey and Calais, and we're going to be checking out gear. So starting with some amps and then getting into some pedals, talking about trying some cable back-to-back samples, and
guys are in for a treat.
Yeah, this is
we're in for a treat. I don't even know what we're gonna exactly.
I'm not even playing. Khalid's doing all the playing.
Geeking out.
I'm all excited.
So am I.
All right, so let's start with amps.
Yeah,
So
so
take
we
the lead, Calais.
We got 3 different amps here to compare. We have a Roland.
Wait, can you say that in Mike's voice? Roland.
We have a Roland AC60. This is an amp that we use regularly at the Hollywood store, and what's funny is that Corey and I have borrowed this amp many times for small gigs.
For gigs, yeah.
Weddings.
It's a very good amp.
It's a good amp, and the main reason why we use it is because it's portable and light. And I think for a lot of us musicians, having something that's small that has a good quality sound is very, very important.
But on top of everything, how much did it cost? $4.99.
$4.99. Yeah, the price point is great. One of the things that I didn't really understand when I started getting into gear is that when it comes to amps, acoustic amps cost way more than amps for electric guitars.
Oh, absolutely.
It is ridiculously expensive.
Why is
2
that?
to 3 times. I don't know.
I think
Maybe
the overall
because-
components
Do you have
are
any
just more
theory
expensive.
on that, Aaron?
Well, it's kind of weird because you've got levels of amps, different types. You got your electric guitar solid state amp, which is up until recently, that was crap. Remember those crate amp 15 watt?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Some people like that sound for it, metal stuff. Or,
Right when you said
Absolutely.
all the people that own that amp were just
No, I mean
crap.
we're talking the early crate.
I remember 'cause we used to carry
the
those, yeah.
GTX.
You're
kind of
talking about stuff we sold, but yeah, I mean, it's
Well, I mean,
cheap.
they were great beginner apps. They're $100, and you plug them in. But if you plug an acoustic instrument in,
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
whoa, man!
You
that
gotta
is
But
bad.
it's
take
because
the mids
of-
all the way down, and
a lot of
try
it
to-
is because of the components.
with the
And-
acoustic amps, it's more dependent on the speaker. I think
Yeah.
the speaker is
that's
pretty
true.
much right
because it has to reproduce the,
It has to
the low
reproduce,
end
but then
frequencies,
also
right?
the frequency range for an acoustic amp, it's much bigger.
way bigger.
It's huge.
You have all these overtones that you don't want inside of an electric amp.
Yeah.
You know what's also huge? My head.
so random.
All right.
Oh, anyway, no.
Keep talking because
No,
you're
just-
covering up all the burps that are coming out of this.
Aaron's giving me the signal. Just keep going, keep going. No, because as a kid, Aaron used to always talk about
Yeah,
how huge my head was.
globe head or whatever.
I
Helmet
used to
head.
Be
make
like,
trouble
well,
to
of course he's smart. Look at the size of his forehead.
I used to be making trouble to Corey. He would be like, it's like, Corey, come on, come over here. Oh, his heads can't fit. Heads. Plural.
Anyways, so the Roland, you know, as far as that goes, for a lot of people, if you're not gigging, I like the AC33 better.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like the voice of it a little
And it's
bit
got a
better.
built-in looper.
It just isn't as powerful.
Yeah, you have to really
But-
crank up the gain.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, it like anything more than like a quiet dinner gig. It just wouldn't do. You know, if you didn't have a PA or something.
Or a line out. of some
Right, a
sort,
line.
yeah.
Yeah, but it sounds great. So that might be the best choice for some
for
people.
starters,
you know,
right? At least for something affordable.
Yeah,
and-
because
Yeah.
it's a nice acoustic sound. It's
me,
been a
that
while
sounds
since I've
amazing.
been like looking into that market though.
Well, you know, it's funny because the second app that we're looking at is from a company called Schertler, and I was contacted by these guys, and this guy David Schmidt tells me, he's like, you got to try this app. So I end up I'm like, yeah, okay. So I'm like, you gonna send me the app? He's like, yeah. So he sends me the app, and I'm completely expecting to be like, all right, whatever. But I'd heard of this amp that they make called a Unico. In fact, I played one and it was really good, but it was like massive, you know? So I played this amp and I was like so blown away by it. I was like, oh, because at the point in my life right now, I didn't think I needed an acoustic amp because, I mean, my guitars are loud enough, my ukuleles are loud enough for, you know, a small room. And if I'm going any bigger than that, I'm going to use a PA, right? Don't think I need an amp for anything. Until these things, which just changed my opinion on amps in general, because this is the AC60, which does not sound like 60 watts. That thing is loud.
But how's the 90?
The 90 is even louder. But you can crank these things up. And I kind of personally think...
What model Schertler is this?
It's called the David. And I don't think it's named after David, the guy that sent it to me. I think it's from like David and Goliath because it's small,
but packs a punch.
Mighty, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
sounds like he kind of strong-armed him. Like, so what, are you going to send me the amp, bro?
No,
He's like, it's in the mail right now.
If you talk story with this guy, like he's one of the most interesting people I've ever met. He actually got in touch with me because when I was working in the store, he had bought a uke from us, and he was inquiring about lessons, and he had his own store in the mainland, and he was like East Coast guy, and so he was like, oh yeah, you know, I carry these. He was talking about like Eastman guitars and stuff, and so we got to know each other through talking about gear, and then like years later, he got in contact with me because he wanted me to try out the amp, and it's like from there, like I talked to this guy like at least once a week. He very, very knowledgeable about tone and all things acoustic instruments, and with ukulele, it's you gotta pick the right amp, man, because like
yeah, ukulele, especially
I
if you're
think
playing
I installed some Schertler pickups at one point. I think Pepe turned me on to them. I thought they were pretty okay. I mean, you know, I never really care for soundboard transducers in ukes. It just doesn't seem to work as well as guitars. Like even with the K&Ks for me, I'm just kind of like, it's okay, it's fine, you know, for an inexpensive option. The Schertler was like kind of a upgraded version of that, but it's the same.
Well,
like, what is it?
I
German
remember,
or
it's
German
it's Swiss.
Swiss.
I remember when I approached you about it, we were talking about that pickup, and you were concerned because like the volume level or something, because it's a passive pickup. It's like, and okay, so here, let me just break this down for you guys. In case anybody doesn't know, electric guitar pickups, most of the time, unless you've got EMGs or some kind of battery-operated pickup, they're passive pickups. Now, when you hear a good Strat tone, what kind of pickup are you listening to?
A passive single coil?
A passive single coil, but is it a hot pickup?
No, usually you're getting your juice more through your amp.
Through the amp. And so here's the kicker. Most people don't realize this, but in a passive pickup, in that little, because there's no like capacitor in there, right? You've got just this thing going straight into your amp. There's nothing boosting the signal. So you've got to turn the gain up on your amp. But when you get a good passive pickup, they stop, like, you know, like people think it's broken because they don't know that you have to turn your gain up way more than you thought on an acoustic amp. And so they're like, oh, the thing is broken. The thing doesn't work. But you got to turn the gain. I didn't even know this. Jeb had to kind of like school me on that. Now,
no, but the thing is, like with electric, like if that's what you're going for, you want the amp sound. But I feel like you don't want to have to push the gain as much with acoustic. Am I wrong in that?
Well,
I mean, maybe it depends on the amp.
You're not wrong. In the terms of like like if we've got an under saddle transducer, you don't want to boost that signal because then you have the whole thing sounding like this, and you never want that, right?
But then it's also, I mean, with under saddle transducers, you get a lot of the ticky noise.
Yeah, it's that quack that. I
it's
always say
funny
because
I say I don't like the soundboard transducers, but I like them in guitars for that reason, because you
don't get the string noise.
You don't get
so much, right?
There's a sound of under saddles that's not at pure acoustic as much, but they've gotten better.
They have. And well, here's the kicker with this guy though. The Schertler pickups are designed for you to boost the amp. Now, over time, people kind of they got that complaint, like they had to turn up their gain on their amps. And the beginning pickups were that way. When they would use those mic pickups, they would work that way. You would have to put up your gain. But over time, guys started making more gain into the pickups. So like in the LR bags that I have here,
the my size even more. That thing has got a lot of juice.
Tons of gain, right? But the problem is now you got to back off the gain on there. And you're not getting the tone of the instrument because that pickup is just kicking you in the balls. Yeah. So it doesn't sound like the instrument.
Maybe it depends on how much you love your amp and your amp sound.
Well, Todd Adamski used to always say, I don't care how the thing sounds as long as it sounds just as junk as my guitar. Right? So that was his
trying to amplify the real sound. Exactly. Is the point. Yeah.
And that's what the Schertler does.
Because he never sounded like junk.
No.
Didn't matter how junk the guitar was.
Todd could make like a cardboard box with some rubber bands on it sound good, man. But like I
don't know about that, but
the point is, well, I don't know. He made like that mini Squire Strat and that little pig nose amp sound like $1 million. We thought somebody brought in a Dumble,
$500,000 maybe.
There you go, 500,000.
That's still a lot of money. A lot of money to me.
Well, anyway, though, like the idea behind a pickup and the passive pickup is that and it's not really even the amp doing the work, because now it's allowing the pickup to pick up. When it's got too much juice coming out, it's having to limit what it's picking up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now that you're turning up the amp, it's allowing the pickup to pick up. It's the same difference between a room mic and
I guess there's a
mic
balance
right
there.
And then how's Aaron's?
That's a Lumix. That thing doesn't turn off.
Yeah.
The GH5s don't stop.
Yeah, they don't stop rolling. So
they just don't look as good as Canon.
Oh,
that's the hard thing. Yeah, it's
tiny
like
little micro Four Thirds sensors.
They don't have the clarity or the warmth.
I don't know. They're pretty good.
Canon has, so.
Yeah.
You don't want to see me in HD.
So what's the first? Or
The
after
third?
that, I guess we have an AER that we'll be comparing with.
What's
that?
What's
as
the
well.
price
AER
point
is great
on
too.
the Schertler?
Yeah,
that one
that's
is,
a good question.
if I'm not mistaken, I think it's about $1,100. So.
And just like disclaimer, like all the best amps for acoustic instruments that you'll hear people talk about are usually made in Europe.
Yeah.
Germany.
I mean, a lot of
Switzerland.
that goes for a lot of things too.
Oh yeah, even like effect pedals, like
Most
Denmark,
of them are. I mean, that
Come on,
pedal you
America.
have there is
Where you at?
from the land of Tobias.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to that in just a second. But for now, we're in amps, and the third and most expensive amp that we have here to show you guys is an AER.
AER.
Handmade in Germany.
The acoustic
right?
people.
Yeah,
It's not that much more than the Schertler, I don't think.
No, I think it's like what, $200 more. It's like $1,300 or
Something
around there.
I
For
forget.
well,
I
that
thought
one
that was like
is
2,200.
it is, but that's the Compact XL. He has the 200-watt Compact XL. They usually make this other one called a Compact 60, which is like a more.
Oh,
appropriate
I'm thinking about
comparison.
the one that Benny Chong used.
You know
Yeah,
more
but-
about my
yeah,
amp than I do.
So
I had that. Amp. I had the same amp. That's what I said.
This
You know,
is over
when
2
I
grand.
asked Calais, or when I told these guys we were going to do a gear podcast, Calais was just like, "Oh, we got to have Aaron."
I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like I mean, like
Of
he
course.
has, he knows his stuff. He's constantly reading about what's new, what's good. He's tried out more things than all of us combined. I mean, I the only thing that I consider myself that has some knowledge about is cables, but that's one out of many
That's a
other
huge
things.
part of tone.
It
massive
is.
part.
But like as far as amps,
I'm
I've only
interested
owned
in
2.
that. So like, well, let's try that through the Roland first with just 2 cables.
Yeah.
And then we'll go through the different amps before we get to pedals and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's bust a
Let's hear
uke
it.
out and what do you have and what pickup does it have? Because we can also be comparing different pickups.
So on both of my, 2 main workhorses are Kamako ukuleles. One is my custom with Brazilian rosewood back and sides,
Which is like $9,000.
Sika spruce top, And the pickup that I'm using is
Bear
the
Claw Sitka.
Bear Claw Sitka.
It's
Battlestar
stiffer.
Galactica.
It makes a difference.
The pickup that I'm using is the Anui Nui Air pickup, which we offer on our website, and I think I might have been the first person in the U.S. to have this installed on a ukulele. I don't know. I could be wrong. They sent me it right after like they came with it.
The first.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
It's a party clap.
I remember they were trying to develop a pickup that really showcased the natural sound of the instrument while being an active under the saddle. And I got to see this pickup evolve from, you know, a normal active under the saddle pickup that could pick up a little bit of acoustic frequencies, and also when you tap on it, to something that required a Y cable where you could blend in the microphone signal with the piezo, and then up until now, where we got the air.
Yeah, the current system right now compared to the split one that you had.
It's insane because like you got this onboard. I mean, it's just
Like the mic is that
the mic
big.
is like almost as small as the tip of a pen.
Yeah.
This is how small this microphone is, and what they did was they rolled off the frequencies that normally cause a lot of feedback for ukuleles. Typically,
it's like
the
the type
highs.
of microphone the government's listening to us with.
Yeah, basically, they're hearing everything we're saying. They can hear us breathing.
It's funny
We
those
got a
guys.
bunch of those all over the place.
Those guys
got me
probably
talking
listen to our
everywhere.
podcast. Like, oh, what? Oh, crap!
No.
Uncle
The one-
Sam is watching you. Big brother checking in.
They love ukuleles. It's
They do.
who doesn't?
Yeah, who
Right.
doesn't? But getting back to this pickup, it was one of the things that I thought was going to be very useful is that because it has a separate knob to lower or raise the volume of the microphone, without having to, without having to worry about it feeding back as much as like what you would normally expect, was a good idea, because when you're in a live setting, you're in a room that accommodates good acoustic frequencies. You kind of want to showcase the sound of your instrument. Say, for example, you got a very expensive high-end instrument that sounds phenomenal. It sounds amazing. And, you want to make sure that a pickup is going to pick up this awesome, amazing sound that's coming naturally from your instrument and push it through the system. And having that option has made it, possible for me.
Do you find that you're cutting that fully on when you play live?
There are some songs where I would turn the microphone off, songs that I turn it on.
But you're saying it doesn't fully turn it off, though. It turns into a small.
This is what is pretty crazy. The microphone will never fully turn off. So what you're hearing will always be some part of the natural acoustic properties of your instrument. You can lower it, but what I found was that when I use certain effects that started feeding back, and I started thinking about it, I was like, why is it feeding back? And then I realized is that the microphone is still on to some degree.
Yeah, even if it's completely off, it's kind of...
Yeah, you turn
Wait.
the knob all the way up.
I need to clear something up. Is it feeding back or feedbacking?
Oh,
Because I heard feedbacking. I was like, why are you making things up?
Well, I can
I
see
don't
that.
know.
I can see
I can see.
feedbacking.
yeah.
But it's like, is
feedbacking.
it hauling
Feedback?
hauling
Yeah,
ass,
it's
or is
feeding
it
back,
haul
but,
assing?
I mean, right? Well, you could go both ways. I'm hauling ass, or I'm ass hauling. There's a big difference.
haul
Depends
oh,
on
no,
whose ass it
it's-
is.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Aaron's always got the perspective.
No, but is it hauling ass or haul assing?
You'd have to be an ass to like even have this discussion, right?
I think we've got that covered always around. So we're good on that. Definitely good on the ass part. So
But all in all, I have to say, the new Anui Nui Air pickup is by far my favorite.
Primo.
So far.
Yeah.
It's
good.
easy to work with too.
It's nice.
I didn't expect
It's
it
good.
because I installed it in one of my Ukes. I didn't expect for it to react that well. I thought
Yeah.
I'd be working with it doing adjustments all the time.
See, the output signal or the gain is not as, nearly as hot as a Fishman, Ellerbags Element. I even feel like the 5.0 is even like, a hotter
The 5.0 is
pickup.
pretty hot, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, in comparison to like the stuff I'm eventually gonna swap these out, but I just haven't. I don't got time.
Is it a 5.0 out of 5.0?
If Joel is listening right now, he can expect to swap my pickups for me soon.
No, but yeah,
He should be here technically.
It seems with the Onui Nui Air even, and with a flat signal, it sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Well, you know what? He always has an
And
amazing
it just
live tone
sounds right.
anyway. Even
Yeah.
when you had the Fishman in there, it sounded great. So you have a natural ability to EQ. Just like you have a good ear for it. Mike Love is another one of those guys.
Kalei's
He
like,
just
yeah, I know I
always had
sound
the-
good no matter what.
Always had the ability to EQ really well.
See, like for me, it's like as an ukulele player, you spend a ton of time, learning how to play, how to sound good acoustically. But then there's that other side to it. Once you get good at playing, you start performing. Is how do you sound good coming out of an amp,
Coming out of a
PA
box.
system?
Something
like
that's
a
not
whole
your
new world.
instrument.
It's
Yeah.
a whole new world because like, no matter how good your instrument sounds acoustically, the real challenge is to make sure that this pickup is pushing that same tone,
Yeah.
same quality of
So
sound.
that's always been the conundrum with acoustic amplification,
Yeah.
right? Because here's the basic fact. It's not coming out of the box that you're playing on. How do you make it sound like your soundboard?
And then you got to take into account like some pickups will pick up certain frequencies better than others.
Right, exactly.
Like the MySci, that thing picks up low end like
Yeah.
No other?
none other pickup that I've ever tried.
But then the high end sounds thin.
It sounds
Yeah.
thin. But
You
then
know,
it also
but-
depends on like how you play. Do you play with like
well,
your
it also
fingertips, your
depends on
nails?
what you're running through.
Yeah.
Because I know guys that run my size and their live tone is just like, damn, what the hell is that? So it's again coming down to knowing how to EQ something. You've sounded great with the 3 different pickup sets that you've used in the time that I've been watching you play live and stuff like that. So you've always had great tone. And that was when you were running like straight into the board. You just knew how to. You always had the
What did
ability.
your Kamaka originally have? Like a Fishman or something?
The Matrix, right?
It had a Fishman Matrix pickup.
See, I don't know. For me, I think I guess it's just that percussive sound. I mean, it gives you a sound, and if you're a solo like live performing, there's a certain dynamic that it like.
Yes. That dynamic range does make the biggest difference. When you're on stage and you're performing, and you want this low end bass sound to come through the speakers that enhances the overall tone of your instrument, that sound is not naturally
Right.
reproduced acoustically.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is look for a pickup that can cover a wide range of frequencies, which is very, very important. You don't want it to be too bright. You don't want it to be too bassy, but you want something that can accommodate the kind of tone that you're looking for. And just like the learning journey, then you got the tone journey and the pickup journey. I mean, like all of these things may be very, very small, but they make the biggest difference.
They do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
pickups. Like I've tried the Fishman Matrix, Matrix Natural 1. I've tried the Matrix Infinity. I've tried the Ellerbags Element, the 5.0, the second generation Onui Nui pickup, and then now the Onui Nui Air. And I just love the new Onui Nui pickup. I finally found the sound that I've been looking for all these years, and it took over a decade to
Awesome.
find this.
And that's what everybody should be looking for, is to find what it is that they hear in their head, reproducing the sound that you hear, that you want to make music with, and that's going to be the thing.
Yeah.
So.
I know one thing that I have a really strong opinion about is, for me personally, I will never perform with a passive pickup.
See, a lot of people feel that way. And
mean,
I myself am leaning towards like changing this out for a passive pickup. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the Pono passive pickup sounds really.
oh
good.
yeah, the Pono passive pickups some amazing. I mean, that's probably like one of the few passive pickups that I
Probably
actually
the
really love.
only.
But
passive
it's
pickup.
great. But
if
it's
you
not for me,
right?
you know,
but if you
that's
take
just me.
like say the Pono passive and you put it through the venue like that, how much of a difference is it really from? I mean, I would say you're getting pretty much like a better preamp than anything that's going to fit inside the instrument.
And the flip side to that. Now going back to, like, okay, people forget that there's a ton of things that affect your signal chain, even acoustically. If I pick this up and I play this right now, you're hearing the soundboard, right? But what about them? They're hearing what's coming out of their speakers, going through the circuitry and like whatever EQs their board, YouTube or wherever we're on, whatever platform we're on, putting through this. This is a whole plethora of
Oh sure,
stuff
yeah.
that's coming out.
Well,
So-
when you're talking about the listener experience, then
Yeah.
it gets on the whole other end of, well, what are you listening with and
right,
how things
How good are
get
your
compressed
ears?
how it's
online, and
recorded,
this
yeah,
all
isn't,
this stuff. So
we're not putting these up as true wave files and all that
exactly,
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
so
You
you
see,
know.
I'll give my honest opinion of, or the reason why I always have to perform with an active pickup is when you are in some situations where, like for example, take festivals.
Mhm.
You only have 5 minutes to set up your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't have 30 minutes to do like a proper sound check.
right,
Which in ukulele should only take 10 to 15
Right.
to do a sound check. Having an active pickup for me guarantees me a strong signal going into the board. They don't have to fuss.
So
with
it'll
the
sound
gain.
good, regardless.
Well, no, depends on the sound guy and the sound system and all
Yeah,
of that. But
the
you know,
But giving
sound
them that
guy.
much juice coming in is a lot easier for me to dial in the rest of my settings, EQ. I just leave me flat, leave my gain, leave my volume, leave my EQ all straight up. Communication is key when you're.
It's also understanding though, because there are times where I'm like, everything at 12 o'clock, and then he's like, I'm like, it's not at 12 o'clock.
but there's
I
so
can
many
guarantee you.
preamps in the stages,
Yeah.
right? Because like
There
you're
could be.
okay, you got a preamp in your uke, and then you're running into a preamp DI,
DI.
and then you're running into your amp, which has a preamp.
so
and
there's
then
a
you're
certain
running
point
out
where
into-
there's redundancy in there. And again,
But
so
maybe it's built into
passive-
the sound. I mean, obviously for Calais, he's found what
Yeah.
works for him.
Yeah,
and
and-
it's
and I'm
it's,
just talking
it's
about me.
subjective as
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
arguing over nylon versus fluorocarbon or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
It's
I'm
like,
not telling anybody
Right on.
to do what I do.
Right on.
I'm just
Well,
talking.
like I said,
but no,
it's
it's
oh,
good
hey,
to have
yeah,
Aaron's
no.
other perspective on it because
Oh yeah,
like,
because like
what, like none of us
You
would have
want-
really stuck up for
Yeah.
passive pickups that much. Like, yeah, get an active.
So I'm weird in that sense. Though. I'm like the complete opposite of most people because what Corey and Calais both say is pretty much like that's common knowledge. Most
I mean,
people
it's
know
pretty much
to use
facts.
know to use an active pickup.
I
If you
like
wanna
the
have some
passive
kind of
pickup
signal.
that's in the Pono TEs. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
specifically what I was referring to. It's
and the thing is, like, I remember when we were doing the higher ground ukulele recording. Some of the best stuff that I recorded was through the Pono passive.
Dude, my
and then-
mango sounds incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you know,
Abe still
there's-
uses a passive pickup, right?
It's one of
That's
those
all
things
passive.
where
No.
there's like how many
Okay,
different
okay,
ways
doesn't-
to skin a cat? Is that what? Like,
Exactly.
who's skinning
There's many
cats?
ways to
What's
skin
that
cats. Who
about?
the hell skins cats? These Chinese, man, I tell you.
Whoa! You can't say that.
It's 2019.
They're about to go on a tour to China, and here we are talking about skinning cats, and I'm blaming the Chinese.
It's funny we
Yeah.
were just talking about.
Well, that's
the-
how
a
we
bunch
make
of
the
cats in
true
Yeah,
the
Mother
gut
Pua, bro.
strings.
Manapua man can. Right?
It's okay. Aaron's part every race.
His name is.
Well, that's the
quite
thing. Like,
Chan,
I'm not
Charles
racist. I
White
hate
fan.
everybody equal.
yeah.
It's funny. That's what my dad used to say.
That's where I got it from.
I'm not racist.
Uncle Sean.
I hate all of you guys.
He told
Get
me-
out of my house.
No, but he goes, yes, yeah, you know that guy, stupid. I go, which guy, Uncle? The Popola guy? The Holly guy? It's all the same. I hate everybody equal.
People in general.
Oh, you're talking human beings. Got you. Bro, I hate dogs too.
But you know,
Except my dog. That dog is good.
He's the best dog.
Corey was always also talking about how his dad's gotten to be a lot more cool.
Hello.
Yeah. It's like after you turn 50, it's just everything's doesn't matter.
He's not even, you know, the type to like tell somebody they don't sound good when they're playing at a wedding or something.
This is a guy who used to want to stab people in the neck for having bad tone is now cool with like somebody sucking. So, hey, it happens. Hey, I had an uncle. I don't know if you remember my uncle Greg. Greg Damage. Remember him?
With that kind of name.
His name is Greg Damage. Like, I'm not even joking. Okay?
I like this guy.
And he had
Does he
this
work with Dog the Bounty Hunter?
dude, he was like this guy. He would ask him, oh, Uncle Greg, he'd be like, what? What? You know, he's like aggro. He's super nuts. And like and he couldn't bend his pinky. It would stick out on both hands, like, because he broke his he broke both his pinkies. And, like, but he was like this crazy guy. I ran into him
It's
when
all
we
in
were,
the name.
when we were working in Wahiwa. I hadn't seen him in like 15 years. I go into Shige's one day. There he is. I'm like, oh, it's Uncle Greg. So I'm expecting, what? You know, but like, I'm like, hey, what's up, Uncle Greg? Hey, Aaron, how you doing? He just got old one day. And he was mellow and he was cool. And so I'm like trying to poke buttons to see if I can piss him off. And he's just like, hey, boy, good to see you. Hey, tell your mother I said hi. And it just like, it
It's far
disappeared.
beyond damaged.
It went back to Greg Reyes. Damage disappeared. Just
Where
left.
did damage come from?
Wait, that's your uncle?
Greg Damage. Yeah, Greg Reyes. Yeah,
Carpenter.
yeah. So you,
I don't know what that.
Oh.
I wouldn't want him to be my carpenter with that name.
Uncle Greg.
So you know Auntie Rochelle?
Yeah, Auntie Rochelle is Uncle Lydell.
Yeah. Uncle Nate?
Yep. See,
Nate
we're even
transmission.
closer than we thought.
Wow.
Okay, so
You guys got the same nuts little friends.
same nuts, Uncle Greg. Okay.
Nah.
He's normal. He's normal now.
No.
I'm curious to
he
hear
was
where
normal
that
for a
the name
while.
damage came from.
Rah.
When was the last time you saw
Did
him?
he?
Corey,
Before
I keep hearing
that last
your
time I seen him
stand.
was
Oh, sorry. I'm
Um,
touching it.
he's touching it with his balls.
Sorry, I'm touching this pole.
Yeah,
here.
like don't put your feet or yeah. You want me
So-
to adjust it so that it's coming out?
Oh
the
yeah,
side?
I should. I
He's got it. He's
should
got
have
it.
done that a long time
He
ago.
knows what he's doing.
No, I don't.
So remember, it's a fist.
I
away.
let Andrew adjust it for me, and look,
That's my
the stand is
secret.
to the
I
side.
never know what I'm
I'm
doing.
not banging into nothing. Hey, it's all good.
There you go.
There you go. Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking like a champ.
But he'll still keep stepping on it with his feet.
Yeah, because
Boom, ba-boom, ba-boom.
he's got it still right in front of him. He just moved further back.
Okay.
So I don't have to step on it. Because that's all I do. I just step on it all the time.
Step on it, right in the bear trap.
Do that lusty Japanese soap opera voice.
The
Again.
soap opera voice.
Oh, I can't do a rusty.
Rusty.
Yeah. Hima. お姉ちゃん。暇ですか?
I don't know what the hell you said.
I don't know, but I'm
it's
turned
on.
on.
It's on.
Are you? I was saying,
Like
hey,
sister.
Hey, sister.
Or-
are you free?
Yeah.
時間大丈夫ですか?
That is the line for the karaoke bar.
There it is.
Okay, we haven't actually tried anything yet.
No.
45 minutes in, and still nothing is plugged in.
Break.
I forgot the pedals are here.
But this is straight into the amp with the Anui Nui air pickup. This is with the mic closed.
Diodario cable.
And the Diodario cable. This
Range
would
is what?
be,
$10 to $15.
roughly, yeah. So it's a cheap cable,
This is the Kirkland brand of cables.
pretty much.
Nothing's wrong with Kirkland. I love
Hey,
Kirkland.
Walmart. That's where I shop at.
So
Hey,
now this is what it's gonna sound like when I
That's
open
a bullet directional cable, Andrew.
up. Ooh, cool.
So
Then I got the
Oh,
Analysis
she's
Plus.
thick.
then we got the
And
Analysis
then
Plus.
Is that what the white
Do you
cable
have
is?
more?
Yep,
What?
you have
What?
different
Which one is
Analysis
that?
Plus cables?
I do. I got.
Yeah, he has like
I have the
5.
yellow. I have the green. I got. The,
He's got one made out of
the-
like
the
silver.
purple.
Did you bring that one? Oh, you have
Just
to.
that
You
one.
sent it in for repair,
Is that
right?
your favorite?
I got the rest. So apparently I've worn out my Analysis Plus cables.
When you are Kalegamiao and you are sponsored by the
I wouldn't
best
say
cable
sponsored.
provider.
Yeah, you pay for them,
In the
right?
United
But
States.
you
I
get
do,
a
but
better.
I get
Lamborghini
It's a
Artist
huge
discount.
discount. Huge discount.
Well, they're still expensive, but it's
The
like
man
worth
would not
the
pay
investment.
$400 for a cable if he was paying $400 for a cable.
So here's the microphone sound, or without the microphone. So okay, and then this is with the microphone on, then the pickup. So all the way up. So now you hear,
Yeah, I can hear it.
yeah.
Can you talk into it?
Okay, can I just say, I took off my headphones just now, and what we're hearing through the earphones is just not doing justice to what that pickup sounds
Oh.
like with that thing on.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can definitely hear you.
Can you go moo?
Sorry, guys. I don't know. That's about as good as I can get right now for like
Sounds good.
trying to show representation, but it doesn't fully do justice to the room sound. But you know,
Well, you know, like, and it's what I told David when I came
Oh,
up here
yeah.
with Zach and we did that Shirtler app demo. It's like we have the best guys in the business for catching acoustic sound, but coming out of an amp is a whole different game, man. And we're just not
Yeah.
like the guys that are equipped for this.
I mean,
You know, so-
I
but
mean,
at the same time, though, we are geeks and we love playing with this stuff. So it's like we're gonna
I
do
try,
it anyway.
but yeah.
The hell with it, we're gonna do it anyway.
but there's a reason why most of the stuff in the studio is just mic'd.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Exactly.
even if you're running a line level, like Bob is probably still taking most mic sound for your
Yeah.
studio sound. You know,
Do
I
you
don't think
it could
Bob's
be, like,
ever used
the
a line
XLR
level
cable?
that I've given him.
you think it might have been?
I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it.
It's
I
a
think it's the-
D'Addario XLR cable.
It's still like a line out.
Okay,
on
well
an
we'll try
acoustic amp
we'll try the
that's-
line out on the other ones though.
Yeah, we'll try it out on all of them and we'll see what happens. It could
Okay.
be the cable. You could be. I mean, absolutely correct. So, and again, I don't profess to know anything about like the way this stuff is recorded. So,
Oh, you know something about something. Okay, so let's try the analysis, or let's go up a notch on the cable.
try
See.
the
Okay.
bullet cable. And remember, it's directional.
And I'm not sure how much is going to transfer by the time somebody's listening to this on who knows what. So we'll just give our thoughts on what we actually hear. Yeah.
I think for the price of the Roland amp, what you get is unbelievable. You know, I mean, like for $500, man, that thing is a great amp.
I mean, we
Yeah.
were selling that seems like over 10 years ago. Have they not come up with a new version of it?
I think it's just if it ain't broken, you don't fix it.
They still run the jazz chorus. So
Yeah.
like
I
like
love
you said,
that
if
amp,
it ain't
though.
broke, don't fix it, man. That jazz chorus. is
Didn't
still-
John get one, or
I
wasn't
have
he-
one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Do you have? Didn't he buy one, or he was gigging?
John
with-
had one. Yeah, John had one. I had one. Todd had one.
Todd had one. Yeah, the Roland Jazz Chorus
Todd had
for a solid state amp.
Todd had two of them. He had the Roland one, and he had the Yamaha copy of the Roland one. Remember that?
Classic.
And the Yamaha sounded better than the freaking Roland. Like,
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
So, for a lot of we're trying amps that are a little bit bigger now, but probably a lot of our people out here.
It's not 90 degree.
No, look at the direction. It shows you the arrow on there.
Oh, why is it
Backwards.
opposite?
Yeah,
That doesn't make
weird.
sense. They put the right angle going into the amp.
it's so stupid. Bullet cable, man.
Well, at least we got like a sample of like
You
what
guys
happens
blew it.
when you.
Somebody had one job.
One job. You had one job. You know what it is? They're thinking
Kaleigh's
everybody.
face right there. He's like, "What?"
I was like,
I think the guys at Bullet Cable think that everybody plays a Strat.
whoa,
Huge difference.
this is a difference already.
Yeah.
Same settings.
Wow.
Now I can hear the mic
Oh,
on that thing.
dang.
Damn. Yeah.
That sounds.
I'm not I'm less ashamed of our recording sound.
Wow. Okay, so bullet cable.
Yeah.
What happened, Diodario?
You dropped
Okay.
the ball, man.
Now we're gonna go back to the Diodario cable,
Yeah, let's hear it.
like that. Unplug the good cable.
That was
As Kaleigh
significant.
slowly builds his rat's nest.
Yeah, so just a bunch of spaghetti over there.
Hey, when you gotta switch between cable to cable, you can't be picky
And this
or
is
neat
this is,
about it.
No, check it out. That's
No,
that's the
listen to
difference
this.
between a gigging musician and everybody else. Everybody else would roll them up.
Yeah.
Not a gigger.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah,
Got
right.
time for that.
We got the cameras
All
rolling.
right, so here is the cheap cable.
Sounds pretty dull.
It
And
sounds, yeah, it's a brittle sound. Very brittle.
And
Okay,
almost
so
like it's
here-
breaking up, like more.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
you're not getting the clarity.
Let's do something
no
simple,
definition.
like a Hawaiian vamp.
But through all 8 keys.
That's like 90% of my
12 keys.
repertoire, man. You're gonna say that's something really simple.
Oh,
Whoa, coming
low
from,
key diss.
If you want to do it Brian Tolentino style,
I ain't no Brian Tolentino, man. Brian is what I aspire to be when I grow up.
Kaleigh, what do you think of the pickup that Brian uses?
it's great. He's the only one with that pickup.
It's funny how Uncle Brian is always like, you could do this, you can do that. It's like, I can't do any of that.
Okay, so here's back
His
to the
pickup
bullet
sounds
cable.
fantastic too, though. Like,
Well, it's like LR Bags had done the the hex for the
the
guitar,
hex coil,
right?
The hexacoil or something. It was,
Right.
And the mandoliners.
But it's
Yeah.
the same as the RMC individual pole pieces that like Godin uses, stuff like that.
What's with the bullet cable again? Is it oxygen free
Yeah, it's like one of those.
copper?
Yeah, and
So-
but it's also directional. So signal. Like
Sorry,
remember when
I'm-
it was
it's so
reversed?
different.
It's yeah.
There's like a higher velocity that's
High
coming
fidelity.
out of it. Like,
Oh man,
Cleaner.
much cleaner. Yeah, it's just pushing.
and this
really
is
nice.
with the mic off.
Put the mic on. Let's hear what it sounds like.
This is all the way on.
See, now I can hear the mic. Can you hear them? Let's see. Yeah, makes a huge difference.
Do you think my mics are too hot on the
No,
amp there?
no,
Okay.
I think it's pretty
Okay.
good. I think the mic on me with all the burping is a little bit hot.
Oh man.
Can you hear the alcohol going down my throat? As I
Glug,
sip?
glug, glug, glug.
As
Okay.
long as they can't
mic.
smell it, it's all good.
They haven't invented that yet.
Not yet. I was looking at the BMW 7 Series. They have a built-in air freshener, and you can select between
A built-in air
Three
freshener.
different.
The new car
different-
smell in the new car.
Yeah.
So the seats will absorb your farts and turn them into flower smells.
There you go. It's recycling.
No, but they have 3 different scents that you can select to come through the AC.
Oh wow, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, and I guess they have these cartridges that you have to refill.
Now, can you refill the cartridge, or are they gonna charge you at
No,
the
you have to take it to
dealership?
Uh-huh,
For-
yeah.
You have to take
Yeah.
it to a certified
$900.
BMW.
It's a BMW extra,
Dude.
triple the price. Okay, so sorry. This went from Bullet to Analysis Plus.
Yeah, so in order, cheap D'Addario to a good Bullet cable to Analysis Plus.
Which one is that?
This
This
is like,
is the white oval.
but it's still like Analysis Plus is the creme de la creme of acoustic cables.
They're like the Rolls Royce.
Yeah,
of
I mean-
cables.
So they actually like made like cables and wires for NASA. It's pretty insane. So I've been using these guys for quite a while. They're my favorite cables out there. I hear a difference, but they'll cost you a pretty penny.
that I had
It's
a purple
getting into,
Analysis Plus that I got from you actually. So
Huh?
yeah, it was a while back. I remember you turned me on to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good. I don't remember
Well,
selling it.
yeah, because I think
Or you, like,
I
hooked me
think
up-
I
Oh, maybe
originally
it was
ordered
Mike.
for the-
No, you hooked me up with it with
Did
Dan
with
had
Mark.
the like with Dan at Dan's Guitars because you were sponsored. I like got a deal or
No,
something.
actually, Andrew was the
Yeah,
one
Oh,
that.
somebody
I
somebody.
brought it in
Oh,
for
maybe
him.
maybe it
Yeah.
was you. Yeah, but I got the purple one,
Yes.
and then but it like died after like 3 years.
You know, it's lifetime warranty, right?
I wish I knew that before I threw it out.
Oh my gosh.
Stupid.
It's lifetime warranty. When the cable breaks, you send them in, they fix it.
Well, I'm glad I'm not gonna. Well, no, I'm not. I won't ever have to throw away that silver thing that.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be amazed at how many cables say that. Like
Yeah, and then
like-
you turn around and then they're not gonna honor it.
Mogami is one of them that will honor it. Actually, when I was in Easy Music last year, I bought a gold because I just didn't want to take my Analysis Plus with me to China.
Yeah, most
Okay.
of the XLRs I run are Mogami Gold.
Yeah, they're great. And
They're good.
actually, Easy Music told me, it was like, hey, this has a lifetime warranty in it. If this cable breaks, you just go to any Mogami dealer,
Oh, wow.
and you should be able to turn it in for a brand new one.
I mean, I think they're banking on most people being like me and Aaron, where when stuff breaks,
Yeah.
we're just like, I'm not
Throw
going to
it
deal
away.
with it.
I don't want to go back. I'm just gonna throw it away.
You know what? I still remember when we ordered the lava cables.
Yeah.
I still have a pair of Blue Demons that I've used from the beginning, and I bought those because that Purple Analysis Plus crapped out, and they sounded just as good, a quarter the price, and they're still going. And I've run them over with everything.
I still have one of the monster cables, the acoustic guitar cables. That was like $80 from the old
Oh,
store.
with the wood tips.
it
that
was the regular with the gold or
Oh,
something tips.
okay.
That one's still running.
Yeah, I still have some of those too.
They're good.
Yeah, it lasts forever, man.
But what do you think? Have you tried the lava cables and stuff?
I haven't tried lava cables. I've tried monster cables. I've tried Mogami. Even
You
their-
hear a
their-
significant difference from the Monster to the Analysis Plus?
In my opinion, yes. Yes.
You know, it's kind of like a lot of things where like the difference gets big when you when you go from like your cheapest options to
Right.
like just something a little bit better, right?
Yes.
And then as you go up in price, it gets incrementally like less different.
Yes.
Like you're not gonna get that much better, but it's better, and it's like depending on how discerning. Just like with instruments, like
Yeah.
you get up to $1,000, it's like pretty darn good, and then like beyond that, it's all like you gotta have the ear that really like appreciates the.
It's like customers that walk into our store and they ask me, what sounds the best? And I'm like, well, to me, this sounds good. But then sometimes, or most of the time, they would actually disagree with me. And,
Right.
and I tell them, it goes, in the end, it depends on you. It's all a personal opinion.
That's always do that. I always empower the customer. It's up to you.
Well, the problem is when you get to a
Know
certain
what's best.
Me?
we think we know so much because we've listened to so many things, and the problem is that as we grow earwise, right? Like we can't unhear.
I'm glad you said
Things-
earwise.
Like
Grow.
as we grow like earwise, we can't unhear things. Like maybe something like, jeez, man, Andrew, remember the Hamer guitar I had?
Yeah.
That was probably the best sounding short scale, like it's like Gibson scale guitar I've ever played on, but it had a spot, and it wasn't even a dead spot. It was just a spot where it was softer.
Was that
than-
one of the first guitars you bought
Right.
from me?
It was, And remember, it drove me nuts. I couldn't unhear it. And you know how come I heard it? Because Todd said something about it. He
Oh,
ruined me
bugger.
for that guitar. And I wish I still had that guitar. And I wish I could like go back and unhear.
You know the Hamers I like the most were the F-hole ones. Ooh.
Dude,
Those are-
oh man. And with,
I love this.
with the lace pickup. Oh, those things were killer, man.
Or the what's the wood that they use for like the V's?
The Carina.
Carina.
Dude, those
Oh,
things were killer.
so lightweight and just so resonant. It's like got all of the resonance of these super heavy, Les Pauls.
I'm like hunting on reverb right now because like, okay, I love the sound of a Les Paul. I hate Gibson. In fact,
A lot of people do.
like, that's the reason I got the Jackson. Remember? Because like, remember Giggy brought over his Gibson. Giggy was gonna sell me his Gibson, and Mike's like, man, the Jackson on the wall sounds better than that Gibson. And I was like, no, it doesn't. He's like, dude, I promise you it does. If you let me set this up, he's like, if you compare the two, I guarantee this one sounds better. So he went and he set up the Jackson for me while me and Giggy were getting plugged in with the Les Paul. He brings the guitar over. I plug it in, and from the first strum, I was like, God damn it.
What model Jackson was that?
That was that. It's hideous.
Was it the
Yeah.
Mark
Mark
Morton? The Mark Morton Dominion signature.
Oh.
The Japanese made one. It's super good. It's like the highest end that they had at the time, but it doesn't look like a Les Paul, but it sounds like one.
Man, I mean, I guess some people are into the look,
Yeah.
but and now they're cool. Like especially when you visit them at NAMM and you see the custom shop stuff, just
Oh,
like
dude.
they do some beautiful stuff.
Well, again, though, going back to what I was saying, as far as like unhearing something, when, like, say you're playing like a Kala ukulele, right? Like, bro, the new Kalas that are coming out now sound fantastic at a price point that, like, would blow your mind 10 years ago. If you heard that
Have you
sound,
heard the new Elites?
yes,
Oh my gosh.
They've
Dude.
gotten really good sounding.
I just sold a
Unbelievable.
3 cola tenor today.
It's like,
Dude.
it probably wasn't a hard
Thanks
sell.
to, no, I'm just,
yeah.
I had
Hey.
nothing to do with that.
The thing about it is, if you look at it now, right? Like, so the way acoustic instruments are now, you've got like, say an instrument costs like, $300, right? And then you got another one that costs like $700. Before, the tone difference was like this.
It was dramatic.
Now it's like
I
this.
know.
Yep.
It's the gap is closing. But
Because
you know-
those guys have been teaching those guys, and
Right.
we've been trying to get the affordable stuff to
Yeah.
sound more like the expensive stuff for the
Right.
last 10 years, and it's getting there.
And the thing is, though, we will still pay that extra $1,000 for that 2%.
yeah.
And it's
That's
because
it.
guys like us just can't unhear that 2% difference.
Yeah, it's just like you still are like, yeah, but there's this muddiness that kind of
Right.
isn't like,
just
it's
doesn't
not
tune in
my
for you.
custom Kamak or my Kola or,
Right.
Or Chuck Moore.
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But,
But it's getting pretty insane. Like,
yeah.
dude,
And the elites are getting like pretty
Oh.
top tier sounding for moderate prices.
Just
Oh,
within like the
yeah.
last year.
Yeah,
like,
just
how much those
2019.
things-
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
we got 3 Port Orford Cedar Koa tenors coming in. Ooh, we just got them in today.
Yeah, they sound amazing, and it's like they need to get you updated because like the new stuff they're making sounds better than your custom.
Dude, the other day,
I agree.
When I went down to the shop and the thing happened.
What happened?
Where I got in
Oh, did
trouble
you
with-
buy something?
Where I got in trouble with my wife for coming and hanging out with you guys for like 12 hours. Anyway, I played one of the elites over
Don't
there.
worry, Michelle will never listen.
She'll
to this.
never listen to this. Never. Not in a million years. But the thing about it is I played this Kala Elite. And I've always loved the Kala Elites. I thought they were fantastic. But I was so blown away by it. I'm like, Mike, Upton, sponsor me. Like I'm like that close to saying something. Because it's so great. And at that price point, you cannot beat what they do.
$1,200. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't
It's
always
phenomenal.
love them, but they were pretty good for.
yeah.
Well, the
you know,
workmanship was always there. It was
The
just
price
that they
was
were
always
missing the tone.
Yeah, yeah.
Now they've dialed in the tone,
Yeah.
and that woodworker, the level of workmanship is still there.
Yeah, and I mean for an
Crazy.
America, California,
Made in America.
Yeah, I mean there's
Doesn't
still
get any better than that.
very little automation in that shop, so it's like these
What do they
are
have, like 7 guys working in there.
I don't know what it is right now. We actually, Pat was saying that he wants to bring us over to do a new shop tour from their new shop, but yeah, I mean, I'm
Well,
blown away by the new stuff.
I'm
Gotta
fat,
book
so
the
you have to
tickets right now.
buy 2 tickets if you want me to fly with you guys.
not you're
What are you
not.
talking about? No, or first class ticket. Oh, there you go.
That's why I'm fat, so people fly me first class. It's trust me, it's strategic. Otherwise, I'd look like these guys. But it's a
But
strategy.
then you'd be back in
Strategy.
coach with me. Never mind.
Yeah, well, me and Andrew would be sitting in the back. He'd be like smashed against the window, and I'd be just like,
No ways.
No.
You guys be in the emergency exit, bro.
You
That's the
belong
best.
in
That's
first
like
class
first class
estate.
in an economy. I gotta say, emergency exit.
For me, I don't want the responsibility of
making everybody go off the plane.
They're at the beginning of the flight. They're like, "Yo, guys sitting near the window,
You gotta
if
help.
things, yeah, you have to open the door." It's like, yeah, but chances are, if you
Nothing's
crash,
gonna
Oh, the joke's on you. I'm taking 2 PMs and shooting this whiskey.
oh, what was that?
Oh, you didn't know?
Sorry, I just
I'm.
just took a shot.
I want to be out when we go down.
Look,
Me-
we
you
start
think I'm
going
gonna
down.
remember any of
I'm
this?
taking out all the vodka on this plane. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Would you like
Everybody's
some vodka?
like trying to open their like life.
All those little bottles are just downing them.
Like,
The
would you like?
bartender's already doing it. For
They'll be like, "You want some vodka?"
Sir, you need
Absolutely
to sit down.
yes.
You damn Skippy.
Oh man.
Bring it here.
Okay,
Man, it's like at that point,
do
I'll
we
just-
listen to the analysis?
He's taking another swig of whiskey before we even. Oh, can we hear a difference? Try.
Speaking of
This
analysis,
is no amp.
Go
It's the microphone.
Speaking of analysis, how
Here.
about one?
Oh wow.
I think we just clipped the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would have
clip.
turned my
We
mics
totally
down a
did.
little bit. So like we get more power
Jeez.
out of that right off the bat.
Right.
It's,
But it's a clean signal.
Let's try sustain. Okay, so
Oh my goodness! You,
okay,
It's still going.
but the other cables I didn't like hit one cord to hear.
Okay,
it
well let's
sustain,
try.
so-
Let's go back to the cheapest one, and it will work. our
we
way
don't
up.
Okay.
even need to listen to the cheap. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that would be because
If we
it's
wanna
not
hear the
even it's
sustain.
not even like cheap. It like the kind they include in acoustic electric
No, that's
cheap
it's,
instruments.
It's a cable you
It's a
buy.
it's a $20
$20
15 something like that. You know.
Yeah.
So this costs what?
I
Clay?
can really hear his pickup though going right here. Can you hear that? Damn.
oh, the sustain.
So this right now, the mic's not on. This cable is the white oval cable. It's this and the blue suede.
When you say the mic's not on, you mean the your
it might pick up.
Your-
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
it might
so-
pick up. So
Wait! You just said you could never turn the mic on.
Well, okay, it's all the way down.
God.
it's all the way down.
Are we gonna get like that
Well, listen to
specific
this.
Corey?
Here, I'll turn
pretty
away
technical.
I'll turn away from this microphone.
Yeah, very little. But that's not a good comparison. If I farted right now, that thing.
Okay,
would pick
no, here's the mic all the way on. No, here. Here, check this out. Check this out.
up. That thing is just ringing.
Ah, man, it's just I'm gonna be one of those customers and be like, yeah, it sounds good, man. Sounds great.
Look, so this mic on, mic off.
Sure, just take my money. Yeah, there's a
Yeah, there's a huge difference.
You can actually hear
Yeah,
the difference
you can hear
between
the
the
mic.
microphone
there's a big
and
difference
the
in
piezo.
clarity for sure.
So microphone on.
The Analysis Plus cable. It'll turn
Okay.
the ukulele into a McPherson guitar.
And then you have microphone off. You can hear that warmth
Yeah.
coming through with the microphone off. Okay, now the final test.
You would think we were selling this stuff that we're talking about, but we're
We
just
don't sell any of this.
We're just having fun, guys.
Yeah.
We're here geeking
Actually,
out.
Mark, Analysis Plus, I'm ripping you guys really hard.
Yeah.
He actually is. But you know what? It's a damn good comparison.
And
because-
he was watching the podcast. He's like, "Oh, I better get that cable fixed."
Actually, it was like 6.
No, Diodario right now is like, we're pulling our shit. from you
Diodario,
guys, 'cause,
we're gonna get an email.
And Daryl would be
we're-
like,
I got a lot of love for Diodario. They're a fully
make-
American company,
Absolutely.
100%.
They're awesome.
Everything made right
Yeah.
in America, and they're doing amazing strings and
Didario strings.
I mean all the
Didario
Planet
tuner.
Waves.
yeah, you do the. I've got their tuners and stuff, and now. Oh, by the way, you gave me one of those capos. So
What?
you gave me an $80 capo the other day.
Capo?
Oh my God.
Capo?
Capo.
$80?
Kepo.
What?
Is $80
Why would
capo?
it? Why would it? I'm so confused. Why would a capo cost $80?
Because
You guys didn't even tell me you ordered it.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
How am I giving stuff I don't even know we have?
I don't know, man. This happens.
We
at your
ordered
store
it
all
to
the
sell in the
time.
store.
It doesn't happen. all
Everyone
the
else
time.
buys the tri-action. We wanted to have something that's like for the musicians, like these two guitar
The
players.
type of people that buy Analysis Plus cables.
Yeah, basically.
And so, what is this $80 capo? Nobody
It's
shows
the-
me.
I
It's
should have
supposed to
brought.
be right,
Did you?
um,
Do you got your guitar? You didn't
I-
bring it?
I don't have it.
The cradle capo actually fits right here, like beyond like the nut. So it kind of rests here. So
It's
all you
a
gotta
more
do is
even
slide it down.
Kind of thing
It's
because
the
it pushes
most
from the
even.
back.
yeah,
And it
and it's
doesn't.
always
It doesn't clip like this.
Is that different than the Shub?
It's kind of like a
the Elliott cable.
the Elliott capos. Have you seen the Elliott capos? They're like
Yeah.
$200, man. Diodario makes an $80 capo.
I think if it's
And-
that expensive, it should be slightly beautiful at least.
It is. It's
Okay.
absolutely. It's gorgeous.
It's
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a heavy capo.
And they work fantastically. So
Feels like $80 in your hand.
it's definitely an $80.
The
capo.
case feels like $80.
If you leave it on your headstock, does it increase your sustain?
Actually,
the fat finger did. Why not?
Could, right?
on the
Right,
Elliott
yeah.
cables, that's what you get right off
Yeah,
the
it's a
bat.
sustain
is-
because of the added mass, right? So how the hell did we get here? Was that me? That was probably me. Capo,
Where
Yeah.
capo guy.
where
Okay.
are we?
Okay, so
So
What the hell were we
low
talking
end, cheap,
Diodario.
entry level. I mean, this is. I'm sure they got better cables than this.
I think
Don't they own,
they
like-
offer a wide variety.
Is
Yeah, they do,
Didario
they do.
and Planet Waves the same?
Yeah,
it's the same
they are
company.
same company.
Same company. So Planet
This
Waves
is
would be
the-
the
this-
upgraded Didario cable.
Right,
Right?
right. Well, you know,
I don't know, man. I don't know because like they've separated their thing. You know, like they got some stuff that says Planet Wave, some stuff says Diodario.
Well,
and
it's
some
kind
of
of
the
like
Diodario stuff is like top
no,
tier.
It's kinda like instruments.
But the Planet Waves does get a little bit more expensive, right?
Right.
Some of their
Yeah.
cables.
Well, they
They're
have
like
get
the,
into-
$30
they have the
bucks.
locking.
Yeah. So this is, I think you're right about that. I think these are more budget cables.
Friendly,
Yeah,
yeah.
So they might be like $10. I don't.
But they are a lifetime warranty.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh,
it
man.
says. I'm just saying what
You
they
know how many
put
of
on top of
how
the
many of those
box.
cables I threw away?
Dude, don't even tell me that.
Because
now.
they broke.
I threw away an Analysis Plus cable, and I just heard what it sounded like. So screw you.
Okay, if we're hearing what it sounds like coming through an amp that's mic'd,
It's,
imagine what it would sound like if you could hear the direct signal.
Exactly.
It would be like uncomparable to this. You wouldn't be able to compare them.
And that's not a bad cable. That's
No,
or
it's-
cable. I mean cable.
Oh, you see,
I'm
it's not a-
Samoan, no, but
It's not a bad cable at all.
hey, you know,
Hold on.
Not at all. It's $10.
Hey, I am 7% Samoan, so I can say that.
Hey, it's any. Well, I don't
I'm like not an uso. I'm like a oos.
just a.
I'm a ooh. Everybody tells me like when I tell them, "Hey, bro, I found out pot Samoan." I'm not surprised. I'm like, what the hell is that?
What is
mean?
that supposed to mean?
I'm also part Tongan and part
Hey, just
Fijian.
for that-
How's that?
Just for that, I'm gonna pound your face.
I'm gonna come
I'm
off
gonna
of there,
pound you right
and
now.
I'm gonna proc you in the
I'm
head.
gonna make your face look like a ulu.
As a group of large Samoan men break through the door and kick the shit out of all of us.
Oh man.
I grew up with a lot of We grew up with a lot of Samoan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have a lot of Samoan
Tanga.
friends.
When I was living in Mountain View, my best friend was Samoan, and him and his family lived right next door to us.
Dude, and you want to talk about guys that can sing with harmony?
Oh
Samoan
my!
churches.
Oh gosh,
They're
Samoans, Tongans.
Yep.
Oh,
Their churches, they
jeez.
sing in quartal voicings. We don't even play that way, but they sing it's incredible. Harmonies galore. When's the last time you heard the word galore used in a sentence?
I don't know. You've used pretty big words today, and I'm like,
You're like the Joel of today's podcast.
No, I could
have
only
a-
dream of filling Joe's shoes. Joel,
I have a vocabulary boner right now.
Joel is like his wit, you know, like he's so fast. I was watching like the podcast we did with the what is that, the comparison? That was like my favorite one, man. That was so good. We did I got to play all those ukes.
Joel told you about the story when he was in middle school, where he was like, "Oh, can I just take a placement test out of here?" And then the teacher was like, "Why?" He's like, "I mean,
I'm
I
too
feel
smart
like I'm
for
too
you people."
smart for this class."
And he probably was.
I mean, yeah, I never thought Joel was, had an IQ lower than 180.
Dude, Joel is one of those guys that like. I
Like
remember
the way his brain works is just he's so analytical.
the first time I really had a conversation with him.
Take a little bit of a right turn, but Joel has a string company now. Did you
Oh,
know about
really?
that? Yeah, well,
No.
he's
Yep.
been, for months he's been experimenting and gauging strings. So it's like tonight we have
Forgot about that.
some strings.
Joel strings.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to try. I want to try Joel
Okay,
strings.
okay, but we'll do that after.
Okay,
Let's get through this. So,
so we're back to
man,
the.
you know what?
We're not even done with cables yet.
We're gonna be here at 5 a.m. at this rate because we're still on the first amp.
Dude, we haven't even gone to the pedals.
Okay, all right. So let's do this quickly. Okay, so back to comparing all three cables back to back. We have the D'Addario. This cable will probably run you about like $10 to $15 at any music store. It's a 10-foot cable plugged into the amp. We have a stereo microphone. We have the bass, the mids, and the treble or the highs. Everything is all at 12 o'clock except for the highs is at about 9. Okay, so you're minus 3B. So this is what it sounds like.
Okay. Next cable.
D'Addario.
No, let's just go straight to the Analysis Plus now.
Wanna jump right
Yeah,
straight?
let's
Yeah, let's
just
do it.
jump because we already did.
Yeah, we did the bullet cables.
We kind of already did this. So we're just recapping here real quick, and then let's move to the next amp because we got to make some progress on that.
Dude.
We haven't even gotten to the T-Rex.
And that's the
Or the
thing I'm
loopers.
most interested in that. So far.
Okay. So now we have the Wide Oval Analysis Plus cable. This is a 10-foot cable. It'd probably run you just about $100, give or take.
What? I thought you said
And-
600.
Huh?
Not that one. This
Oh.
is the white oval.
Yeah, it's not the 20-foot purple.
Oh, it's the
studio over.
affordable series.
It's the affordable. Series.
How much does Jake's cable cost?
I think
like
retail
3,000?
value is like roughly about $5,000.
Dude, he's got the gold one?
He has the gold one. It's gold from tip, wire all the way down.
The connector, yeah.
You could wear it like a gold chain. I mean,
Damn.
it's insane. But that's the best cable.
Is
they
it
got.
very stylish? No.
It's very stylish, but
Not as a chain.
You have to travel with a
The chain.
security guard.
$5,000 cable. Somebody
Yeah.
rips you off of that. You gotta regulate, man.
But the theory behind it is that besides like their oval design and the way all of their cables are made, is that gold is the best conductor. So you get the fastest vehicle to get your signal
And
from
the most
your
consistent,
instrument.
right?
Yeah, and most pure.
You know those guys that always tell you gold is the way to invest.
That's why.
Always
You know,
invest in
it's
gold.
Signal.
It's kind of true.
Huge difference.
Make the change today.
Look at that.
Analysis
Like the
Plus.
sustain is so good. Okay.
All right. Okay, so let's try a different app.
All right. Let's compare it with the AER.
Yeah, so let's run the AER now.
Hey, Corey, give me a hand.
Oh, that was the master.
Okay, so let's put the AER right where that one is. So let's move that out of the way. And then put the AER right in that same spot. Now we should get more volume out of this guy because it's 200 watts.
Well, we're not going for max volume, but
Yeah.
just listening to the voicing will be interesting. 'Cause,
Here, well, hold on. Let me just listen to you.
Oh, I heard that. Can you try it?
oh.
Oh, it's clipping.
So, come down on the master.
Right here. This would be the gain.
Oh.
Sounds good too. I like the sound of the ear. It doesn't have that warmth though, that shirtless.
Oh, it's just
Ooh.
way too bright.
I like the Shirtler best.
Huh.
It's one of those things where like we weren't cutting any treble on the Shirtler,
Yeah.
but like we want to cut treble on the AER.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There's a.
You don't need headphones to hear this.
Yeah. Like, I mean,
Well,
I mean,
even better without
yeah.
headphones.
Oh, that's even worse.
oh, where'd it go,
Yeah,
man?
you
Like
wanna
the
do-
body just disappeared. What the
The color. You know,
Dude, that Shirtler is killer.
dude?
This thing is
Dude, that's like.
is the. Oh my god. Hopefully our listeners can hear the difference
The
because
AR
like
app-
the
Let's
EQ
go
settings
back-
are
let's
all
go
the
back
same.
to it.
Yeah, go back to the shirt.
So we'll use the Shirtler. Shirtler wins the amp, and Analysis Plus wins the cables.
okay.
So now we'll get to effects.
Now we gotta find the effects, man. I'm looking forward to this, man.
Oh boy!
Like they make really high end mixing boards, and he sent me a PA system from them, and so there's this 5-channel mixer, and I'm like, man, when the hell am I ever gonna use a 5-channel mixer? It's like, you know, like you need like at least like 10, 15 channels or something if you want to play with a band and this PA system. But I plugged into this board, and I was just like, wow. It sounded like the amp. So I tell David, I said, dude, it sounds like I can plug my guitar into one channel. It sounds just like the amp. He goes, well, it should. The channel on the amp is from the mixing board. And when I brought it to Bob, he was like, well,
Bob St. John's
Yeah.
with his studio.
yeah, he's like, well, the studio's, the Shirtler componentry is the same thing that I've got on this, $100,000 board. And he's like, so for like $1,500 into a 5-channel thing, that's a steal in comparison to what this is. And so he's like, you're getting that same quality, that same componentry. And you can even feel it when you're adjusting the volume knob and stuff on there. You feel how easily that slides and stuff. It's like
It
they use
feels
really quality
very well
product.
made. It feels very strong, and there's a lot of thought that was put into the design. Even
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. And it's like they have this line right here, the David line. The Julia, I think, is a little bit smaller. They've got this amp called the Unico, which is a little bit bigger.
they've got the Goliath, but it's not very good. No, just joking.
The Goliath to go with the David. Actually, his name is Roy, and it's 7 channels, but it's huge sounding amps. And then the PA system, I've got this 1,000-watt PA, and the speakers are no bigger than that amp. And I guarantee you it would fill up, like, if we put it in the parking lot, you could hear it on the other end of the
How
parking
much
lot. clear.
gear have you been collecting since? My goodness!
I am a gear hoe, Like, I just...
Like you took that second night job just to get more gear.
Gear, pretty much. It's just like I'm one of those guys. And the problem is I gotta try everything. I'm looking at Calay's
They call that
T-Rex
gas,
pedal
right?
here. Yeah, gear acquisition syndrome, and we call it UAS. ukulele acquisition syndrome. But gear acquisition syndrome is no joke. If you, I'm sitting here right now looking at that pedal.
75% of the people watching this have it.
Right.
I have
guarantee.
what's known as BAS. Broke
Ass syndrome.
So I can't have gas or UAS.
Well, you and me both, bro. But like I'll like sell a kidney or something.
It's worth on the black market it can be up to
That's why on your driver's license it said
$170,000.
organ seller, not
Organ seller. because right now I can tell you right now, and I'm so glad my wife doesn't watch this, because right now I'm looking at Cody's pedal.
Do you really not have one kidney?
You already sold yours?
Yep.
He donates
I did.
blood every other day.
Well, I was hoping like I could get one of Corey's if one of mine failed.
Okay, so we have the T-Rex Soulmate Acoustic multi-effects pedal / preamp. And I actually bought this because I was looking for something or some kind of pedal that could do it all. Something that had everything you would need as a solo performer.
Guess who else bought it?
And
Corey
guess who else bought it?
Corey's is actually right behind those things over there in the box because he hasn't opened it yet.
Yeah. And what's pretty insane about this thing is that it has a built-in looper, a tuner, which also mutes your signal. It has reverb. It has delay. It has a boost switch.
This is a really good EQ section.
Yeah. So what's cool about like the EQ?
Oh,
is,
did you say on the compressor? What are the controls?
Okay,
It's
so
just
the
a level of
compressor,
compression,
you got level
right?
and compression, but everything on this particular pedal is geared for the type of frequencies that are produced from an acoustic instrument. It doesn't color. It does not buffer your signal. This is an analog style pedal. So every time you use this, you have to readjust your settings because
Check this
things
out.
get shifting around.
Yeah, and
Has,
it's completely transparent.
No, but
It's
transparent.
transparent.
It's like having individual pedals, though. So the settings that you leave your knobs at, if you're going to turn it on, are going to be at that
Yep.
same level.
Yeah.
So let's start with the compressor and let's just hear. Or actually,
So let's just start. Okay, right now I have the tuner engaged. So this is the only sound you're hearing right now is picked up from the microphones we have set up here in front of the
So
mic.
is this true bypass or
It's
is
a
this
true
a buffered
bypass.
bypass?
There's no buffer.
There's no buffer.
Yeah,
Ah.
it's insane. So I took the tuner off. Right now I have the EQ. Everything's all straight up. What's cool about the EQ is that besides having your highs, mids, and lows, you can actually tune into the type of frequencies depending on what you want. And
so
then
this
increase
outer
the
ring
dB.
does. What is the outer ring?
That chooses the type of high frequencies or frequency you're tuning
No,
in.
but this one.
And this one will choose how much you want to increase dB or
So
decrease.
Right,
one
okay,
is
okay,
one
so
is a cut.
one chooses
right?
the frequency and the other chooses the cut or
the
boost.
cut or
Yeah.
boost, yes. So
And that's how you want it.
yeah, and currently right now everything's running flat. The EQ on this Shirtler is running flat. This is all flat.
Oh,
Okay.
That's a really good sound right there.
I'll
By
just
the
play that.
that T-Rex mates really well with that Shirtler.
They work really good.
Can you is there a bypass button on there? Can you like turn the effect off but keep the volume from the amp on? Or is it just a tuner is the mute?
I mean,
So
I think
tuner is the mute,
you're
but there is no effects engaged right now.
right.
No, but I mean to
it's
try to
still-
get a true signal
Oh.
from that straight through the amp.
Is
or
the
with
EQ automatically going to be in there, or do you
Yes.
turn?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
can turn-
so it is going through it, and
Through
it's
it,
going
yes.
through the EQ too.
Yeah.
So it is. So it's a dual tone stack right now, essentially.
Yeah. So, but what? you
But
can
there's no
also-
effects, no compression,
no
no
effects,
any.
no
Yeah.
compression, nothing's engaged. But you can also run this stereo, left and right. So you could actually have left going into the amp, right going straight direct.
Yeah, so it
into
has
your
Or you can
dual
get
system.
two
stereo
Shirtler
outputs.
Davids.
Yeah.
It,
Run it
and
stereo.
what that left right with like the
Yeah,
delays? Do
panda
you get
delay.
it?
Yeah.
No.
yeah, you can pan the delay.
Oh, really?
You can actually have you can if you're missing some kind of like brightness or low frequencies, you can EQ each channel differently from the other. So then you get a mix of best of both worlds. So you can have like one where, you know, the highs are a little bit brighter, and the next one, you know, the highs are a little bit down, but the lows are up, but the mids are straight, you know, flat. And then
I want to
can-
hear the compressor.
So this is the compressor. So right now I have both the level and the compressor, the compression effect, all at 9 o'clock right now. So
Let me like.
Well, you know what? The thing is, you're going to be playing your ukulele through it.
Yeah.
Corey will be playing his guitar through it.
yeah,
And that's something that's a big deal. It's being able to do two different types of instruments through the same box, which is why I love the Schertler amp, because it sounds great with the guitar and an ukulele. I love my AER. With the guitar, dude, my AER was killer. But as soon as I plugged the uke into it, it was like all the magic kind of like dissipated.
disappeared.
Yeah. So being able to have something that does that with both, like for this thing right here, I think that's an incredible piece of gear.
Yeah.
Now, is there only one input or is there a dual input?
There's only one input, stereo out.
Compression.
You have compression. You have a
Let's play
boost
it.
switch. You can compare your input signal, the gain, and then the output. So,
But
which
you
is
could
pretty
go
crazy.
you could go ABY into this.
Yeah.
And then have two ukes set up.
Yeah.
So you can
You
because
could.
in case you break
So
a string or
this is
something.
what it sounds like. No effects engaged. Everything's all flat. So when you hit the
Compression.
compressor, check this out.
Wow.
All it did was
No
warm
compression.
it up.
Oh,
Wow, that's
yeah.
a transparent.
But you could bring down the level to
You can
match
bring the
it.
level, but check this out. You increase the compression. Does
good.
that?
Dude, that's like a Ross kind of sound.
wait,
right there.
play. Because this keeps it nice and wraps.
Yeah.
Like it actually contains the sound nicely without changing
So-
the fundamentals.
You normally when you use like a compressor,
Well, yeah,
compression
it's a bit
pedals
much there.
are actually built for mostly electric guitars, right?
Well, no, I feel like you have to have a compressor in your acoustic instrument. I mean, it's almost like
That's nice though.
the natural in the
I
box.
like it. It's warm.
It's really warm.
Yeah.
It doesn't. There's no like a threshold where it's gonna be like, it's gonna jump up and then get sucked back down as far as like volume wise.
You know what that compressor sounds like? Do you remember the Vox compressor I bought from you? The tube compressor with the snake on it?
Yeah, I do.
Dude, that's what that
Yeah,
sounds
it's
like.
warm but still
It's
clean.
warm and clean and just squeezed though.
And honestly, for me, I don't like compression on my ukulele. This thing,
Yeah.
It's
Sounds
different.
fantastic. Yeah.
I hate compression. Every time like a sound guy at
What is
a gig,
modulation?
he puts compression on it.
That's
he
gonna be
thinks
like
I can't
your,
hear it, but
right,
really,
like chorus?
Chorus and flanger.
So-
No. It has another feature. There's a modulation. There's D2.
D2? Yeah. Oh, that sounds beautiful, man. What the hell?
this is on a ukulele. This is not a guitar.
I normally don't like modulations on ukes, you know, because
Yeah.
or even just nylon string, but maybe a tiny bit, but this is kind of nice. I mean, when you go up on the rate, it's gonna get a little weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
But where you
but
were,
the
though,
rate
man?
all the way down, and you can get a pretty like that's pretty thick, but
That doesn't sound generic at all.
That sounds great. It doesn't sound plasticky. It doesn't sound artificial. It sounds really natural.
that's
what
what the rate
chorus
all the way down
should
and
be,
the depth all the way down.
I'm color me impressed, man. I mean,
So you got the
Delay.
compression on. So you got the delay. You got your mix, which increases the amount of the volume of the delay.
do you
the
have a
feedback, the
control
amount
on
of
there to
repeats.
tap it?
There's a tap.
Tap.
So right now we have delay.
Nice,
Nice.
nice.
This is all analog effect. So what you could do is you go.
Now, give me an example of how you use your delay. Listen to that decay, man. That decay is beautiful. For those of you that don't know what decay is,
sitting in the background a little bit, but it's like you want to, for the most part, have it leaning in the background unless you're gonna use that as a heavy effect. But come down.
does it have
Gonna get into the
does it have a
more
dotted eighth sound?
Whoa.
dub styles.
Yeah.
Turn on the shimmer on the reverb with that.
So you got this. Okay, now you turn the delay off. Then you got the reverb, which is an essential effect for any kind of acoustic pedal.
Wow, that's a nice reverb.
Ooh, I want to hear the shimmer.
Well, that's wet, man.
Ooh,
That's got the new neighbor.
It's not a fake
Yeah.
kind of shimmer either.
That's
That's
nice, dude.
Yeah.
Put the delay back on with that. How's that? It's like that ethereal kind of sound, you know?
Yeah, I'm
And if you dial them both back a little bit, then it's pretty subtle, huh?
Dude, that's. Okay,
I am in the cosmos
that is
as we speak.
that is very watch the stars at the what is that thing called?
The observatory.
This observatory
Or the
kinda-
planetarium.
Yeah, the planetarium.
Oh,
Oh man.
I'm impressed. How do
This
you
was-
like working with the looper?
This was the icing on the cake for me. This thing has a built-in looper.
it gives you up to 5 minutes of looping time.
Of looping time.
5 minutes.
Wow. Who the hell needs 5
And
minutes?
unlimited layers.
So you're
I-
gonna
I
just
do.
play a song and loop the song? Are you trying to drive your audience crazy? What the hell is up
And
with
so-
that?
everything.
What's cool about this is that you can actually you can stop the loop and you can replay. And most pedals that have it all built in, like my Boss ME70, once you stop the loop, it's done.
Yeah.
You can't restart it. This thing is you can record, you can stop, you can play again, you can do layers. Here's the challenge, is that you cannot control the volume of the loop. So when you loop on this pedal, you have to make sure that you are dynamically prepared or have it arranged where, and also know the amount of control that you need for that part in the song.
But
So
it does have a boost.
It also does have a boost.
So
But-
you could,
Technically raise your volume with the
you could,
boost.
but you don't
Outside
want
the
like
loop,
everything to keep
right?
getting louder and louder. Some songs you want
you want to
You
do
know,
your loop softer.
do
if
the
you
loop
want.
softer so that you keep the lead line not
Now, when you
too
hit the
loud.
boost, the loop doesn't get louder, right?
No,
you still got
it's-
your boost, so you're
It's-
fine.
Yeah.
And if you really didn't feel like your dynamics were getting what you want, you could roll back on your volume wheel inside your sound hole a tiny bit.
Yeah,
but-
I could. Just lower it down, but when you're in the middle of a song,
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
have
yeah,
time
yeah.
to turn it back. So what I would do is, like, for example, if I'm trying to loop something where the volume is normally like this, and then I'm gonna loop. And now, if you notice that the loop volume is not going to be as loud as my lead volume. So, like,
Based on how you played it,
Do you need to still have the boost then?
no, right now I don't.
Yeah.
So I could also do stuff like, and what's cool is that you can turn the effects on or off, and it's not going to affect the loop level. So right now it's like reverb. You know?
Okay, now here's a question for, and I don't know if you can even answer this, but does it have a dry defeat?
And this thing, I don't know. I really don't know. I never did spend enough time to match or master each part or each feature of this.
There are. I was reading some reviews. They're like, it's a great product, but in capital letters, read the manual, because there are a lot of features that are controlled by other things, and like you want to, if you really want to make the most out of the instrument, or I mean the pedal, is like you should really look at all the features.
So,
well, okay. Here's the question though. The reason I ask about the dry defeat is, Mike has a certain way that he uses his looper, and what he does is he will run everything into like a board, right? All his stuff goes into a board, into a channel. That channel goes into the looper. The looper is like, it goes back into a channel. And so to do that, you have a dry signal that's going to kind of like get in phase and out of phase in the board if you don't have a defeated dry signal. So your dry signal doesn't, I mean, nowadays latency isn't as big a deal as like, you know, it used to be, but I mean, it's still there. And you'll still hear, especially like with effects, like modulation effects and stuff, you're going to hear like a phasing issue. And so if you don't have a dry defeat, it's kind of, you know, I mean, I don't think Mike would use it because he has separate effects for everything.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, for somebody that wants a grab and go package, you're probably not, because you don't sing anyway, so you wouldn't need to loop your...
No. And plus, too, like, when you're talking about, like, a dry defeat as far as a looper, I mean, probably the only option, or only time you find, like, a feature like that is...
if you're going to
sing. A looper, you know, like, an actual looper pedal on its own. You know? This was, like, a quick fix.
Are you even going to be using this... What is it? A Boss looper, a Roland looper, or something? There?
So that was like the looper that I will use. You know, if I.
But you're not gonna plug that in now that you.
Well, all those things that he has there, he
use.
doesn't need because he's got that.
I got
everything.
I got my DI box. I got.
So you're not even gonna use the Venue.
The Venue, it depends on situation. I bought this one for touring.
Yeah.
So when you're on tour or you're gonna play at a festival and you just want guaranteed
setup,
good high quality sound.
And you know what? It's got the same 3-channel with the individual band you can choose for the EQ system. The same thing that the Venue has there. You've got the same tuner, and I mean
there's a phase button. There's gain. There's an output signal. So you got like your gain and your volume, your master volume. You got the reverb, you got delay.
No, I just asked because, like, doesn't Mike even still run it into a DI after all of his? Is he still using the Venue? I feel like he is.
Yeah. No, he has this DI called the Grace Felix, and it's like $1,000, man. But it's they make 3 different levels of it. They have the Felix, the Alex, and the Bix, and the Bix has like 4 knobs. The Alex is like a single channel of the Felix, and the Felix is like a dual channel DI.
And they're all in that like grand range, or
the cheapest one is the Bix. I believe it's around $400.
That's not too bad. What's the one that Jake uses?
He was using a Leon Audio.
Leon Audio.
Back in the day. I think he uses something different now.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jake's using the Bix now, because like most of the acoustic players have gone to the Grace, the Grace Audio stuff. So, I mean,
Grace makes decent preamps too.
Oh, dude,
for,
killer!
Like recording preamps and stuff. But
I would go to that myself, but I don't need to because Schertler does it. I don't need, because I can line out from there. Now I've got a little built-in monitor, and I've got the.
Let's do this. Let's get a comparison of the T-Rex reverb and the LR Baggs reverb.
Okay. Yeah. This is easy. So all I'm gonna do is. So this is the T-Rex reverb. Too much, so I'm gonna put the mix and the decay. Mix at 9, decay at 12. So this one would be the difference between the LR Baggs reverb and the T-Rex is that the LR Baggs reverb not only has mix or volume, It also has the decay and reverb level. So decay will actually determine how long the reverb will sustain. The reverb level will be how much of the effect you're going to put on top of your signal. The tone will depend if you want a darker or brighter delay. The settings I have now are volume, 12 o'clock. Actually, you know what? I should put the volume at 9. And then reverb at 9.
Wait, so we're talking about the bags now?
Yeah. So reverb at 9. Tone is all the way up bright because I figured that might that actually works better for the ukulele. And so this is dry. Now this is the reverb from the LR bags.
That's beautiful. I like that.
So
It's more of an acoustic reverb. I kind of like that. Yeah.
now here's with the reverb turned up. This is at 12. Same with the decay.
Does the LR bags have the shimmer feature? That
No,
the T-Rex
that's
has?
the only difference between the two. But if you're looking for like pure delay, the LR Bags Align series to me has been the best delay I've ever picked up. For
Reverb.
ukulele. Yeah, or reverb. Sorry.
Dude, that's freaking killer.
As you come up on the decay, you almost
You could
get a
even
shimmer.
you could even still use the decay all the way up.
Oh, yep,
that
there it
gets-
is.
it
Yeah,
gets
it gets
like
to
that
that shimmer.
shimmer type
Yeah.
of-
I am swimming with the whales
Sign me up.
in the deep ocean.
I think I may have to get one of these units.
Trucks needed
Look, most reverb units, when you do turn up the decay, or even the volume
to-
up
Yeah, that's
past
the decay
12.
all the way up, and it still sounds nice. You know,
You,
it's
dude,
not
this
just
is
like-
crazy.
usable. All the other
Yeah, you
reverb
could
that I've
use
ever
that.
tried has been for like electric guitar.
Like,
the
try
Strymons
come
are
up
usable.
all the way on the decay on this guy, and
Do we have an acoustic guitar with a pickup that we can
So,
hear that
Here's the decay
LR Bags with?
on here's one.
Or you know what? Let's not get into that tonight. We'll save that for another time.
it's still nice, but
It's still
it
awesome.
does-
But this is coming from an effect pedal that does it all.
It's a multi-effect.
There's
Yeah.
no way that like it can compete with a single unit. But for what it is,
Dude, yeah,
come
it's
on.
great.
I mean, actually, I would take that reverb over most of the reverb.
Listen to the sustain of the reverb. Just play one
beautiful
chord
sound.
and just
Let's do this again. All right, so go back to the bags.
I still prefer the bags. I do.
Yeah.
But the T-Rex is damn good for a multi-effects unit. It still has like that little bit of a plasticky kind of sound, but it doesn't have like the effects that I'm used to hearing for acoustic don't sound
Like with
anything
the
like this
decay down,
T-Rex.
you could do a
So-
whole gig like this.
What I like to do is like I'll keep the decay up, turn the reverb down, and then I get this kind of effect.
It's subtle. It's in the background.
Dude, that's beautiful sounding. I'm really jazzed about
You know,
this
like,
LR Max. But the T-Rex though, I mean, for a grab and go unit, you
Yeah.
can't beat that, man.
I mean, the bags is almost worth it to have too because it's still under like $200, right? It's just under.
This is like having like a reverb rack
Yeah.
at the foot.
It's like having a lexicon right there.
ooh,
It's insane.
yeah.
Remember those, man? Those lexicon man, I used to have a rack. Your dad has one
crazy.
still.
That thing is covered in dust.
He still has that chameleon too.
Oh man, the lexicon. There's a Jercasti that I was about to get a few years ago when I had a little extra money. But it's not bad. I think they start around $3.5 or $4 grand.
That's not bad for
Turn on.
for a high end studio reverb.
Yeah.
That's damn good actually.
Turn on both reverbs.
Oh, are we really gonna swim?
Dual reverb. I want to be.
You
in,
can't do that.
Oh yes, we can. Oh,
All right, gravity be gone.
Hey, do you still got that pool that you can float around in and like be all zen?
Mind
You know what?
has completely separated.
Since we moved, I haven't set it up over there because we had to drain it, and well, I mean, we drained it before, but it's just I have to order
oughta-
the Epsom salts again.
We
but
ought to
yeah.
set that thing up and have him come play, and we can go swim around.
float tank.
Oh my!
We'll do a podcast
You know
in
what?
the tank.
My bag's kind of bought. I need that float tank to. I gotta get that back up.
And set it up, man.
But this is almost.
Oh,
as
it's so
One step
refreshing.
closer. Okay,
Just
easy,
hit
easy
the-
there, Carl Verheyen.
Hit the bridge with your palm. Just.
good. Can you come up on the decay on both of them all the way?
So
Whoa!
Wow.
The.
That sounded almost Asian.
That's not racist at all.
No,
Wait,
wait,
hit the bridge,
We're
like-
not done yet. You got to start adding delays and.
Yeah, come on, let's get crazy with this, man.
Oh, dude, you gotta add that to
Do
the
all
show.
Mike Love stuff, man.
Come up on the delay.
Get the delay and start putting up the rate, so we feel like we're flying away.
here's the mic opened up.
Oh my goodness.
It's like Tahitian drumming. Ooh.
Calm down, Tommy Emmanuel. Wait, loop some of those effects and play something crazy over
Yeah.
there. But add that body effect too, like when you loop it. Like that.
Yeah, like loop that in the background, and then play the unknown over that. There, now you play it.
Oh my goodness,
Dude,
I am in a.
we're there. We're there.
What?
It's ridiculous. Listen to the quality of the effect on it.
This isn't ukulele, folks. A ukulele.
This is what's called next level Yuki. Damn, listen to that reverb.
Oh, Kale, you have to do Hawaii 78, our version.
Do it.
No, but with the beat. Yeah. The utete.
Hold on. Let me get my model.
Ah, that was quite the experience.
Spacey.
I'm still kind of like floating here from that, man. Like that was pretty dope. I can't believe how great it sounded with the dual reverbs. That was
something I never tried out yet until now.
damn. That was cool.
At least
That was
I
cool.
know that
really had fun with
they
that.
both work.
It might be a effect you would use in the studio for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you probably wouldn't ever like.
It was
I
almost
wouldn't have thought about like running two reverbs at the same time. Like adding reverb on top of reverb.
Well,
I mean,
they
it
do
doesn't
that in the
really make
studio
sense,
all
right?
the time.
It's
right?
reverb squared.
and then you turn the shimmers all up and everything, and it's like almost like a gong.
Think about it. It's really simple. What's better than reverb?
More reverb.
More reverb. 2 layers of
It's
reverb.
like cowbell.
Double
More
cow. But imagine cowbell with reverb on it.
Oh,
It's better
Now we're
cowbell. And then you need more cowbell and you need more reverb.
there you go. Exactly.
All right, before it gets too late, let's try Joel's strings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dude, who's got it on something?
we put him on a Kolau and a Kanilea, so let's check him out. All right, so you probably
That just
can't
turned
see
into
it
a
in the
blank
video,
fest.
but
it's blank.
these strings have like almost like I was telling him they should
Pinkish.
Pinkish.
he should maybe call them pink shell because they have that sort of iridescent like abalone-ish kind of look to them.
Did he said he's gonna name it Sandra or something?
Sandy after his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Wow.
then because of the color, something to do with watermelon. I forgot his story.
Oh, it is almost watermelon.
Yeah. Watermelon.
That's a good one.
there you go.
And it's pretty catchy.
But
They're
yeah,
like
I mean,
watermelon strings.
it's like if you call them pink, it's not right because they're not like that hot
Yeah.
pink, ugly kind of a. Well,
The-
not that that's ugly, but it's just
Remember
like
the DR strings?
you
the
could
hot
put
pink?
these on any classy uke without it being. Yeah, those DRs. I mean, that's a cool look too, but you're not gonna take any class away from the beautiful woods and stuff. And I actually really like the color. It's probably my favorite colored string, which was my first.
Yeah, because it's more of like a subtle kind
Dude,
of look,
they're-
right?
They're fantastic strings.
They're pretty,
I
and they
love the
feel different. So my first reaction was that different players are gonna like different things, and I definitely think some people these are gonna be their strings, but I like them because it's not just another of pretty much the same thing with a different label. Like these strings are entirely different in feel and the tone as well.
Well, and also too is like Joe put so much work into these strings. I mean, like he's using a brand of fluorocarbon that none of the other guys are using, and it's not like he's just choosing these random gauges and repackaging
he's
it
looking
as
at
his
the
own.
work through.
Yeah,
each gauge,
String
yeah.
after string after string for each.
and it's been like over half a year that he's been trying to develop these things, because like I remember like one of the the earlier parts of him developing it was when me and him were talking about reentrant baritone tunings and using fluorocarbons as the base type of material for the strings, and then from there he just went crazy. I was
But
like-
you know what? It might not have the same clarity as like a standard Worth or.
I kind of like it though. It's got this nice warmth to
warm sound,
Yeah.
but then it has this quality. It's like a vintage ukulele
it. Mm,
sound
it
that you
does,
get,
it does, yeah.
and it's all ukulele. It doesn't like some fluorocarbon strings will take away
Yeah, they make it sound
the
like
ukulele
a guitar.
sound, and
almost.
it's like
What's
which is
different? It
It's-
almost has like a lot of the nylon aspects of the weight to the sound. Like with a lot of the fluorocarbons, the thinner ones, you get that nice crystal
Yes.
clean and the sustain, but you're missing a little bit of the meat in the middle.
and
So-
then
Yeah.
that's what is the ukulele sound. A lot of it is that mid-range
Yeah.
sound, and for me, I've always loved fluorocarbons for their sustain
and also
the
they
clarity
stretch
and stuff.
like way quicker than nylon strings do.
and they're not affected by temperature.
So
You're not
these-
gonna have to deal with any of that at all.
I was looking at like the prices are way more than like even like the high end fluorocarbon as far as like, you know, his material costs. These are like the highest quality premium fluorocarbon, and it's not a company that I was aware of at all. Like entirely different from Worth and a lot of the ones that are out there now. So yeah, I don't know. This is a Kolau spruce top, and this is the high G high tension set, I believe.
It does have that body. It has the ukulele sound.
The strings are already broken into. We put this on literally 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago.
Jeez, man.
And it's responsive. There is a level of brightness and twanginess that you get from it, but it's not excessive, which is...
So on this one, you have the... So that has the plain low G, and I had to put on the lower tension A string on that one just because I wanted to feel it. But, yeah.
I don't know, maybe I should have just left the high tension A on, but it's got a probably my favorite, definitely my favorite plain low G that I've ever tried.
That low G is fantastic.
It's not flubby. It's just like when my dad tried it, he was like, "What?" He's like, "Why does it sound so good?"
Because like we're
used to like plain fluorocarbon low G's, not
exactly.
Because the tension or like it almost like the
That
gauge is
too.
just slightly thicker than your normal, plain low G.
And when it comes
fluorocarbon
to
set.
like plugging in and having undersaddle pickups, that's one of the main problems with the fluorocarbon low G is
It doesn't pick up.
it doesn't pick up
It's
as much
so
because the
floppy.
tension on the saddle is so low. This is a very equal tension string to string. Dang.
That's what it is. That's what I'm feeling when I play it. That tension is still there. It almost feels like you have a wound string, but without the scratching.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the clarity though. The clarity is amazing. And it's even volume too. That low G is not pumping louder than the other strings.
So you get some of the girth of the nylon. You get some of the shimmer of the fluorocarbon. Wow.
Sounds really good.
Those
Sustained,
sound
dude.
really good. You know what's interesting is like they don't crimp like other strings too. Like they have before you put them on, it's interesting feeling them. Did you guys feel them like before they were on a uke yet?
No, I
I
haven't.
No.
They have a different feel and they don't. I don't know. They just feel like really strong.
Well, I can say this. Definitely out of us here, but out of everybody I know, I'm probably the most anal retentive person when it comes to strings. You guys know, I'm like a...
Yeah. Do you still make your set?
I don't, because it's 4 different vendors. It's impossible to get that going. But that set that's on the Kanilea there, man, I would totally play that.
Yeah. Okay. So the Kanilea has the high tension low G set with the high tension A string too. So that's almost the same as what he has here, but with a little bit higher tension on the.
So this one has the higher tension on the A. That's the feel of those strings, man. They just feel fantastic.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Because like most, I guess like a lot of like players, ukulele players that have been playing for a while, they prefer higher tension strings. I don't know why.
I know I do.
I love them. Corey definitely does. Like he's the guy that like suggested that Kala uses the low G string for the Worth Browns as their C to increase the tension.
Oh, that should maybe be the strings that Kanilea used.
Yeah, they sound fantastic.
Time to upgrade from the Aquilas.
No, Uncle Joel was already talking about switching over to fluorocarbon, but I don't think he really cared for the sound.
Of the ones
bright.
that were out there. But he hasn't
This
tried
is a different
these.
animal, though.
Uncle Joe needs to meet Uncle Joel. And
Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah, they know.
Joel.
But these aren't out yet because Joel's just been working it out and still designing. I mean, he's got the packaging and everything ready to go, but he's a really thorough guy.
Oh, yeah.
He wants things
Big
to be
time.
right before he rolls them out. Like if it was me, we'd be like offering them tonight on the website. But
Dude, I'm going to have to pick up a couple of sets from him.
well, just the low G alone.
Yeah.
But one thing to keep in mind is not only are these materials more expensive, but with fluorocarbons, as you get to the thicker ones, that's what you're paying for the pound test. Like that's
Right.
like thicker. So I think the low G sold individually is going to be like $4 or something. So it's not cheap, but on par with
you
other
know what,
like soloists or
Yeah.
whatever is like that.
If you look at guitar strings, right?
Thomas Stick Infills is going to run into that.
Dude, it's super expensive for like really good strings. Like, I mean, look at, for example, classical guitar strings, right? The double high tension Savarez. I mean, they're like $20 a pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not? I mean,
Oh,
if you're
it's
paying
totally
for
worth
something
it.
that's
And then
gonna,
I think they're still doing it's a handmade string
yeah.
still, just like the Tomastic Infields.
Doesn't Taimani use those like super high tension strings?
Yeah.
Those are like every
The
string is
Savarez, yeah.
actually
wound. Yeah.
wound,
All
yeah.
the strings are wound.
I need to get a sound sample of this one for the website. A nice looking Aldrine.
Yeah, go ahead, Corey. Let's do it.
That's it, man.
Sonic
It's not like you were saying, like less clarity, but it's got perfect clarity, but it's just not too bright,
Yeah, it's
It's-
everything's just
It's
right.
a nice
Yeah.
mix. It's definitely a lot brighter than say like a Pro Art
Yeah.
set, but it's
not too bright.
not too bright.
Has good warmth.
I would say
good
like
bass
that would be
response.
like the fluorocarbon set I would probably use.
Right.
I mean, I
It's-
told Joel already I'm going to be using this.
It's got like I said, man, it's got great clarity. I don't think any more clear it would be too bright. You know what I mean? Like with
Even
any more
like-
definition, it would be too.
Too high definition.
Yeah.
He has another
Yeah, that
set
makes
that he's
sense.
gonna label, I think, warm. But
I might have to try those.
yeah. So, but I don't know. I think these have pretty nice warmth for a fluorocarbon. It's like, and they're not too thin, right? Like it
No.
feels like a good tension.
And here's something that Joel was telling me. He's like, the material that these fluorocarbon strings are made out of, is there's a coating on it that makes it anti-frailing.
So
kind of
it's
like
never
how-
gonna do the string
Yeah.
cheese.
No,
that's
it's not gonna
like,
peel
you-
apart.
You
That's
can
what Joel
feel
told
that
me.
when you feel them too. They
Like,
Yeah.
That's another
Yeah,
thing too.
they're
The
solid.
overall
They feel-
feeling
they
on your
feel-
fingertips.
because
is just
worth
better.
and a lot of them end up shredding.
Yeah, they shred. And I think that's what makes them more expensive. He told me, it's like, think about it. It's almost like you're buying Elixir guitar strings.
Yeah,
You
they
get that
last
coating
longer.
on it. They're gonna last longer because they're not gonna rust. Same thing with these. He found like a fluorocarbon company that makes this type of material that's not gonna like
This is
peel.
for like when you catch the biggest ahi, like you need the best line to make sure that sucker's not
Yeah.
gonna get
It ain't
away.
getting off. It ain't getting off.
Because the gauges are very similar to a lot of the other strings that's out there, but he said the tension and the pound test is like much higher.
Yeah,
I was just like, really? He goes, yeah. I was like, oh, that's pretty awesome.
but even comparing with like the Cigar Blue or their Premier line, like these a lot more, and he has them in clear too, but I like the color.
I think it looks cool, man. I think it looks dope, especially if you've got like a core top or like some kind of dark top. Bro,
I think like dark or light, it looks
yeah,
it
it
looks
gives an
awesome.
offset the light top.
Yeah, because a lot of people are doing like purfling. So like for me, I have red purfling on
Oh yeah, it would match yours.
like that
beautiful.
rose. It's not even like red or pink. It's more of like a
Watermelon.
incandescent watermelon.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess you could say.
The other thing is, from what he was telling me, they've been reading like really well and consistently with intonation, which is one thing that some fluorocarbons I think are just inconsistent. Like I've pulled out words before and like gauged them, and it's like
they're
they're
some of them are
different.
different. Yeah.
Even though it's supposed to be
Same
like
line.
21 thousandths of an inch or something, it'll be like 20 or 23 or it's just like
And it makes a big difference. It does. It like. well,
I've even
on the
gotten a
same
different
string-
reading on one end of
Yeah,
a line and on the other end of the line. It's like, oh, man.
And that's what you don't want for intonation purposes.
Right. Aaron, get in there and give us this sample.
We're switching seats, so you're just gonna hand me that. Okay, so this is the high tension, correct?
Yep.
The high tension A.
And yeah, I haven't even tried the low tension, so except that A. But.
That was awesome. You know what's pretty crazy was that like you were hitting the G like
Really
pretty hard.
hard,
Yeah, and it's
Like-
not getting any louder than the other strings.
No, and it didn't buzz.
Yeah.
That was
That's-
insane.
Oh, that's the other thing about
Yeah,
It
doesn't
didn't buzz.
Don't buzz.
They handle so well.
Yeah.
Like that plain low G not buzzing when you play it hard, that's crazy.
It has just a really good, and that high A, the high tension A is really good because I'm tuning down to G, and I don't feel like any loss of stability with that string. When I tune my set down, the G kind of feels loose, which is why I don't really do it so much. I've been kind of like bogging to the pressure of a couple of students of mine and playing slack key ukulele lately, which I usually don't like to do, but it sounds okay though. I mean, the
I
string
like
set
that
is-
sound.
Should really get Noah to do this. He's a lot better at this shit than me. So, you know that sort of Kihualu song.
That's killer. Is that Ozzy Kotani?
I don't know. I don't know what the hell that is. I'm gonna teach it tomorrow though, first thing in the morning.
Oh.
I have a shoot day tomorrow, so that's gonna be one of our lessons on the thing that's.
Oh, awesome.
remember
So
it.
if you guys want to play that, just go on to hawaiimusicschool.com.
Dude, I love this string set. I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna be hitting up Joel about this. So.
Very cool. All right.
Very
well,
cool, guys.
Thank you. I don't know what happened to Corey.
I think he had to take a break.
Okay. Very, very good. Oh,
No, there he is.
what?
Yes.
I had it.
Good morning.
I was like, thought I saw something going on, but I was like, no, because he wouldn't do that. He would just lay down on this couch.
Yeah, probably.
And I have. I was just.
All right, guys.
Oh, that was a great one. I like you. You know, I love hanging out with you guys. Always fun.
Yeah, thanks so much, Aaron.